What's up? This is Dynasty Mir. Shooting this video, gonna title it Screw Europe, Travel to Africa. And the reason why I'm shooting this video is because there's too many examples. I've been reading or listening to too many examples of black people who are traveling to Europe and being surprised when they're confronted or they face racism. And so the question is, you know, if racism originates from Europe and Europeans, why do you think when you go to Europe that you're not going to face racism? So black people think that since they're tourists that they're going to be exempt from racism, which is just naive to me and hilarious at the same time. So I read a story about in the AJC, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, about a black college student here in Atlanta who did a study abroad trip in I think Norway or Finland. I might be wrong. Please correct me if you know the story I'm referring to. And she was confronted with racism and how the white people in Finland and Norway didn't understand her culturally. And I just don't understand. Like, what did you expect? Like, I mean, you're in Europe. You're black in Europe. I mean, it's no different from being black in America. Of course, you're going to face racism when you are the minority anywhere on this planet. And a lot of times, I think black people who travel or do study abroad in Europe feel as if they're exempt from racism. But if you ask any black person in Europe, in these countries, whether it be France, Italy, Spain, or the UK, they'll tell you that they're confronted and there's still racism in these countries. But for some reason, if you are on vacation or a tourist, you're exempt from it, which, I think is odd to me. Of course you're gonna face it. So, these people, black people, you go online to book your vacation. I want to go to Italy and I want to see the Colosseum, or I want to go to France, to Paris. I want to see the Eiffel Tower. And then you get there and again, you're faced with racism and you're surprised about it for some odd reason. And you cry about it and you're upset. And I'm like, for the life of me, what did you expect? Like, Europe is the mother of racism. So of course you're going to face racism. But I can tell you of a place where I've never endured or faced racism, and that's Africa. Been going to Africa, been to Mali, Senegal, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia, South Africa, and Namibia, and I've never had a problem or I've never met a racist in Africa. It's been nothing but love. So instead of, when it's time to book your vacation or your study abroad, instead of picking a European country, why don't you just go to Africa and you'll be fine. I mean, people will understand you culturally. I mean, there are some cultural differences between African Americans and Africans, but again, I've never met a racist in Africa. Now, I haven't been in North Africa that's predominantly controlled by Arabs. And, just the Arabs I've dealt with, it's odd how someone could live in Africa, been born in Africa, but they really don't consider themselves African. They consider themselves Arab. So that's odd, but that's another video. So again, when you plan on traveling, screw Europe, go to Africa or any black country, whether it's Belize, Haiti. I'm pretty sure that the diaspora they have never met a racist in these countries, unless it's like a racist tourist, and a racist white tourist or a racist Chinese tourist or a racist Arab. But they don't matter, because it's our country. I mean, Africa for the Africans. And people might say, Dynas, why are you just limiting yourself to just Africa? There's more to see in the world outside of Africa. And my answer to them, quite frankly, is no, there's not. I mean, there's so much to see in Africa that, I mean, in my honest opinion, nothing else exists. Like, I'm going to visit every country in Africa, and then I'll probably visit every country in Africa again before I even consider going somewhere else, except for Haiti. I plan on going to Haiti here in May because of what it represents. And people say, Dynas, you're just jaded, and your vision is just so cloudy because there's so much more in the world than just Africa. And I'm like, no, there's not. Africa, there's only one Africa, and in my opinion, my clouded opinion, I guess, Africa is the only place that I'm going to visit. Africa is the only place that I'm going to spend my hard-earned vacation money at and in and do my research. I'm not going anywhere else outside of Africa unless it's business related. If it's business related, if you have business to attend to in Europe or anywhere else, by all means go. But if you're going to spend your hard-earned vacation dollars, screw Europe, go to Africa, or at least go to a black country throughout the world. And I promise you this, when you go to these black countries, whether it be Jamaica or Haiti or the Virgin Islands, I guarantee you will not run into any racists, and you won't have that problem anymore. Subscribe to my videos. Leave a comment. Go to my website, www.searchforuhuru.com. And I'm going to be shooting some more videos, so please subscribe as well. I'm out.